The filing structure on your computer, on your Mac, is probably messed up. I know it, you know it. I've seen it so many times with my clients. It's insane. In this episode, I'm going to show you my filing system and what has changed, because I did make a video about this a while back actually. So I'm going to redo this video because things have changed and hopefully it will help you out. Hi, my name is Kay. I'm a tech minimalist and I help my clients organize their technology so they can free up their time. Now, my filing structure hasn't changed so much. The system I use has changed, but I have changed a few things, and I want to basically go through it because I get asked a lot of questions about, well, where do I put this file, where do I put that file, and so on. And it doesn't have to be complicated. People complicate things way over what they need. Actually, they don't need to be complicated at all, so they're not complicating for the fact that they need to complicate. It's just complicated and you just don't need to do it. Keep it simple. That's all it is. So we're going to dive into my computer and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. So this is my desktop. Very simple. There's not much going on. And this is basically my filing structure. I open to the desktop. Generally, there's nothing on my desktop because I don't want anything on there. I actually want to make sure I organize everything. Now, if you noticed in my past videos, I've talked about a work, a business, and a personal area to keep everything, and that transfers to my filing system. So my work is basically all the clients that I'm working with at the moment. The archive is all my other past clients, and I have an inbox for this folder, in fact, for pretty much all my folders. So if I don't know where to organize it, what to do, I basically just put it into the inbox and then I organize it. So having an inbox is actually very, very handy. So I have one for my business and I also have one for my personal. So it's really, really handy rather than leaving things in your downloads folder, which actually I still do. We're going to get to that. Or putting stuff on your desktop. It's always good to have an inbox so you can basically put something in the inbox and then organize it, just like your task manager or your email. So again, business is basically everything to do with my business. I'm not going to click into them because obviously there's some personal information in a lot of it. Again, inbox. Clips is when I make clips, video clips for... I reply with video with my emails at times. So I just make a quick video explaining something and send it rather than typing stuff out. I prefer video than text. Yeah, courses and documents and so on and so forth. So going to the work folder, people ask me, well, where do you put your files? Well, it depends on what file it is. If it's for a client, if I'm doing work for a client, then they all have a folder. There are some in my archive, my past archive, that I've got to move over here. But any work that I do for a client, any document, any invoice or contract, NDA, whatever it is, I basically put it straight into that client. So if I'm talking to that client, working with that client, or need to find anything for that client, I go to the client folder. It's pretty simple. It's like, you know, in the olden days, you had filing cabinets, and each filing cabinet had a folder, and each folder was a specific client, or in my case, I was working with property, so a particular property, and so on and so forth. So having it segmented in that way actually works out really, really well. Same with business, like all my legal stuff there, all my research stuff there, all the images that I use, my font library for my business, whatever, all my finance, I've shown you this before. So it's actually all there. I'm going to create 2020. Most of it is done via Moneybird, but I'll create it anyway. And I'll put an inbox there as well. So yeah, I basically have it organized like this. Now personal, not much stuff going on in personal. I work most of the time, or I business most of the time. Now, downloads. Downloads is a real pain in the butt because there are things that can actually be just got rid of. You'll probably find that if you have so many things in your, I mean, this actually should be in my inbox because I got to organize it. That's why I haven't got rid of it. But downloads, to be honest, it's kind of like a dump folder, I find, for everybody, even me. Rather than putting it on my desktop or in the documents folder, I just put it in the downloads, download it, leave it in there. What you should be doing, what I should be doing as well, is once you download something, deal with it, whether that's throwing it out, putting it on your client, putting it somewhere else, and or deleting it and getting rid of it. What I haven't done, not drinking my own medicine, is leaving it in there. So all of this, in fact, I'm going to do it right now. Where is it? I've lost. Wow, I don't know where it is. Okay, well, I don't know. Let's just do it this way. Inbox. So I'll select all, untick that, and put all of this in there. So the point is to keep your files and everything as organized as possible, like in these three areas. Now, a temp folder, I'm going to come back to in a moment because that's to do with iCloud and so on. So I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And my movies folder isn't the folder on my computer. My movies is actually something on my network storage device, my NAS. And I have the archive of all the videos that I've made, basically. So that's why it's there, because I make a video every day and I want it accessible. Kay's Office is literally just anything that's connected to my computer, but that is basically it. That's all you actually need. Now, this temp folder, now all of these folders, I'm going to make this visible because what has changed for me is that all my files are actually located on my iCloud drive. And this is the thing that has changed. Now, I don't generally look at the iCloud drive. That's why I put these folders here. Now, my work, my business, and my personal are actually on the documents folder of my iCloud drive of my computer. So this is my work, which is the same as here. It's my personal, again, same as there, and my business. These other folders are created automatically by their respective applications. So I haven't created them, they've created it automatically. That's why I generally don't look at my documents folder, because there's nothing in there that I need to see. However, I do need to see my work, business, and personal. They're the three areas that I actually put stuff. And obviously my desktop, and there's nothing in it. Now, my downloads folder is actually on my iCloud drive. So I've set up my browser and all the applications. Whenever I want to download something, I want it to go into that folder more so than the folder on my computer. Again, it's not necessary to do that, but I've done it that way and I prefer it that way. So this downloads folder is that. And again, all of these are created by their respective applications in the iCloud drive. So again, I never really need to see this, and if I do, I can just tick and untick this to remove it from my sidebar, and generally I don't need it, so I untick it. So going back to the temp folder. Now the temp folder sits in this public folder. Here it is. And the reason I created that is because sometimes I will do something that, take the drinks out of the freezer, yes, I have to do that. So sometimes I have to, I'm working on a file that's really, really big. I don't want to put it into my iCloud drive for any reason because I'm kind of working on it and I just only need it on my computer. So I created a temp file. It's very rare that I use it, but it's always handy to have a temp file. It's like almost like a scratch disk, like a temporary location where I can put larger files, so I'm not messing up my internet connection with it uploading automatically because it's in my iCloud drive. And that's basically what that is. So hopefully that helps out in how you can organize your data. It's helped me out immensely because I know, I know where all my files are. I can go directly to that location and I know exactly where it is. Now, have there been any times where I've like, well, I need to find that file, I don't know where it is? No, because I know where I've put it. I have a running joke with my best friend Florcia, and she always says, how can you find everything? Because my place is an organized mess. This looks messy to some, but it's organized. I know exactly where it is. I know exactly where to look for it. If it's not there, it's either been lost or stolen somehow. Let's not go there. And that's basically, your filing structure, your filing system does not have to be complicated. Make sure you understand how you work and then figure out a filing system for you that will work for you. There's no point me coming in saying, do this because it's the best way to do it. It's the best way to do it for me. And whenever I work with my clients, I find out how they work and figure out a system that works for them. Now, often people will take the basics of this framework and then implement it with what they do, which is great. But don't just copy someone else's system because you think it is great. I think it is great, but it works for me. It might not work for you. However, your homework is to go through your filing system and see what you can organize, what you can get rid of, what you can ditch, what you can move around, what you can play with to make things easier for you. Anyway, that's the episode. Hope you're having a great day. And if you have any comments, please leave them below or send me a message through my website, macjunkie.com. And as always, keep it simple, like my filing system. And I'll see you in the next episode. Ciao. Bye-bye.